Nice.
Before we start, I just want to say I can't believe we reached 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Never thought we'd reach this far in such a short amount of time, so thank you guys so much for supporting us.
It's true, you guys are absolutely outstanding, and we promise we'll keep bringing the news every week. That being said, if you do have a story you want us to cover, you can always join our Discord or follow us over on Twitter and let us know.
And with all of that being said, welcome to NecroNews, the show where we cover the hottest gaming news from the last week.
Subscribe if you want to keep up to date with the latest news, hidden gems, and other weird stuff we find.
Because everything needs a remake these days, it seems that Sega will be remaking their beef with Nintendo, at least if this recent interview with a couple of Sega managers is to be believed.
It seems like Osamu Ohashi, division manager, and Sachiko Kawamura, did I say that right?
I think so.
Okay, has stated that they want to surpass Mario, which they also admit they've never done before.
Funnily enough, some lore slipped out in what seems like a no-duh moment, but Ohashi let out the following in the interview. To put it simply, I want to surpass Mario. Sonic was originally developed to compete with Mario, and we have yet to achieve that. Because we respect Mario, our goal is to catch up and surpass him. We want Sonic to be played all over the world, including Japan, just like Mario, and we want the movie to be a bigger hit than Mario. That is our goal as Sonic lovers.
What a cursed thing to say. I'm a Sonic lover. Given that the Sonic movies are great, however, and the Mario movie is absolute garbage, I don't see how this is going to be a hard thing for them to do.
You're biased because you're a Sonic lover too, though. You're not going to end it with your tagline, though?
No, Sega's on my shit list.
Don't let Nintendo.
Bungie's destiny, both the game and their fate, are free-falling right now, which means I'm free of my curse.
As if you are ever actually going to finish Destiny.
God of War doesn't win Game of the Year. I will play Destiny on stream until I get to max level.
Winner is Elden Ring.
Oh! Oh!
Wait!
Anyway, Lightfall, the last Destiny expansion, was a critical and commercial failure, with many players disappointed by the story, difficulty, and overhype.
The story was criticized for being confusing and the difficulty was too challenging for some players, scrubs. The overhype for the update, which was fueled by Bungie's overzealous marketing, only added to the disappointment.
This, along with general dissatisfaction with the management and the game, has led to over 100 people being laid off after revenue at the studio is 45% below projections, predominantly after the failure of Lightfall.
Employees were told player sentiment was at an all-time low, something the employees had known and had been telling managers for a long time, begging for approval to make the improvements that they needed, but management rarely approved them.
The next Destiny expansion, The Final Shape, has been delayed due to low pre-sales. The development is being spent on what has been internally called a good, not great expansion.
To add to this, Marathon, Bungie's upcoming extraction shooter, was received so poorly by Tarkov influencers and streamers, it has been delayed to 2025.
And if the game doesn't do well, then the last expansion pack could be Bungie's Final Shape. Get it? Because they'll fail.
Back in August, a Street Fighter VI tournament was being hosted, and the tournament host had forgotten to turn off his Chun-Li nudie mod, leading to this hilarious interaction.
Yeah, that's a very interesting Chun-Li costume there.
The new costume recently released.
Perhaps due to this, Capcom's R&D YouTube channel has stated that while mods are an inseparable part of PC games, for the purposes of anti-cheat and anti-piracy, all mods are considered cheats. Which, fine, many mods are capable of giving players an unfair advantage in games, but then...
Yeah, you read that right. According to Capcom, mods can be detrimental to a company's reputation, and they continue on by saying that there are a number of mods that are offensive to public order and morals. When these are disseminated, the image of the product is tarnished and the branding is affected.
And so, Mr. X in his underwear, Goth Aki, Plastic Chair Virgil, those are all terrible mods that are morally reprehensible, and he should be ashamed. Anyway, it's unsure what this means for the future right now. It could be that Capcom aims to make games harder to mod, which could be detrimental to the company, especially with Dragon's Dogma 2 on the horizon.
Honestly, it's silly for Capcom to think like this in the age of games like Minecraft, Skyrim, and so many others who have only thrived due to modding, but hey, that's just our opinion. Let us know yours in the comments down below.
It's always a good day when lost media is found, and this week is especially nice as the previously lost game, Daredevil the Man Without Fear, was dumped online by an anonymous developer.
The game was originally based on the Elektra Lives Again comic, where Kingpin, who was supposedly assassinated, starts a war among the rival gangs in Hell's Kitchen. The gangs then battle for power in the city, leading to Elektra's resurrection.
The game itself had an incredibly troubled development history due to Sony and Marvel being at odds the entire time. Sony was demanding a beat-em-up style combat system and Tony Hawk style grinding mechanics. Marvel seemingly just wanted an open-world Daredevil game to match the success of Spider-Man.
During development, the company behind the game wanted to move from a third-party engine to their own in-house developed engine, which caused the game to move from being an open-world game to just a third-person beat-em-up, and it had to coincide with the release of the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
Unfortunately, it was ultimately killed by Marvel's refusal to approve the game due to the various changes that were made due to Sony's requests. This made the game far different from the original concept sold to Marvel.
Good news, though, is that the game was recently dumped online in a near-completed state, despite having a few game-breaking bugs here and a heavy wall-clipping issue. It is, however, playable.
So we might be playing it for you guys at some point. Gotta get it to work, though. The story was brought to our attention from a few people in the community, so shout out to the guys in the Discord. Thank you. Anyway, Foxhole is a World War II MMO shooter that's been in the news for different things, but this particular story revolves around a cult that developed in the game.
In the game, two factions, the Colonials and the Wardens, were warring it out on an island called Silver Island, which was being held by the Colonials. The Colonials had no means of getting supplies to the island. The Wardens' sea supremacy had effectively cut off the player-run supply lines. This meant that no respawn supplies or no medical equipment, no extra ammo, nothing could get to the Colonials. Thus, the defending Colonials were limited to only the gear that they had left on the island, while the Wardens had far superior numbers and everything the Colonials lacked. And yet they still couldn't take the island easily.
You see, Silver Island has only one possible point of entry, a 50-meter stretch of beach, making it a natural choke point with sandbag walls and barbed wire built everywhere. So while they lacked the deliveries of supplies to respawn, the Colonials did have three things going for them. Field hospitals which converted their own critically wounded soldiers into respawn tokens, a tight corridor which they can blindly fire into, and the corpses of their attackers which they could loot ammo and supplies from.
Over the next 48 hours, Colonial defenses would be repeatedly destroyed and rebuilt, with many critically wounded Colonial defenders laying still on the beach. Field medics carried these poor souls back to the hospitals, but they could only convert them into respawn tokens so fast, so a pile started forming outside of these field hospitals. It may have been slow, but they did get their respawns, which is more than they had before.
As the reliance on the pile grew, a love and worship for it began to form, eventually becoming fanatical.
Brothers, I have found a chosen for the pile. Oh, wait.
Yes.
No, please!
No,
I'm not chosen!
The fighting for this island was already intense, but now the enemy was witnessing bizarre rituals take place in defense of the island and the pile. According to a barge captain who was at the battle,
I had a dying collie on my boat. His last wishes was to be brought back, so I did and put him on the ground. The first things the collies did after getting back a pal is kill him, and when they saw a critically wounded soldier, they sent him toward someone to collect him, screaming, "For the pile!" as the gremlins scooped the corpse off my barge. I didn't even tell my crew to return fire. I was just in awe.
That's right, because they had no medical supplies to spare, any wounded soldier was put down with the hopes that they could become a respawn token. It was this fanatical defiance that allowed the Colonial forces to hold the island for over 48 hours. It became such a large battle that even the server couldn't handle it anymore and crashed.
Unfortunately for the Colonials, all things must come to an end. Sometime after the servers came back up, the Wardens learned how to build gunboats and then captured the island with a force.
The defenders may be gone, but the legend lives on.
Long live the pile. The server broke before the guard did. This week's Buried Alive Banger, a segment where we cover a game that our community doesn't think has had enough attention, isn't actually out yet, but no one's talking about it. It's called The Last Faith.
Are you like me and love everything about Bloodborne's aesthetic and love Metroidvanias? And hot guys? Then Last Faith is for you. It'll be out November 16th, but it looks like everything that I love and more, so give it a look. While we're on the subject, let us know if you guys have actually played any of the Buried Alive bangers that we've said previously, or this one. We'd love to know.
What you have is a gift of my benevolence.
And here are the games coming out this week. Really nothing. The new Yakuza game where Kiryu comes back is here, but that's about it. I guess Call of Duty, who cares?
And here's our schedule for next week. We'll be trying to finish up Silent Hill, and I'll be continuing Baldur's Gate 3.
If you guys like what we do here and want to keep up to date, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. It really does help us grow.
And if you're still watching, thank you so much for all your support. And this is also where we'd say a very special thank you to our channel members. We're currently demonetized because YouTube, but we're in the process of bringing that back. So if you like our content and want to support us even more, consider joining when it's back open, or you can become a member over on Ko-fi if you want.
Well, that's everything we have for this week. So until next time, goodbye.
Bye.